Brad, just how did you get hooked up with playing Army in this game? It's been a long time since you guys have played Army in a.
Yeah, yeah, it has been a long time. Obviously, we go down to the coaches' meetings in Florida each and every year, and obviously they're not in our league, but at the end of the day, got a ton of respect for Brian Riley and what he's done with that program. There's a long lineage of Rileys that have coached in Army and also around the nation in college hockey, and just having respect for him and what he does and the longevity of helping young student athletes in college hockey. The other one is Jody Hodgson. When we were doing this icebreaker tournament and co-hosting with Bemidji, bouncing teams off of Jody as well as far as who we like to see and stuff. And he threw out Army as well, and I think there's a connection. We very support our service members, throughout the state of North Dakota and the U.S. And to have this service organization come into Grand Forks, I think that shows respect as well.
I'm guessing there's one of their players you're a little bit more familiar with Lucas Canta playing high school here. I'm guessing he's a guy you've seen play. And
yeah, very good player. Played Grand Forks Central, I believe. Had success here individually and earned his way to a Division I scholarship. And he's doing a really good job as a young guy there in Army. And he's a tough guy to play against. He's a big body, he skates very well, and he makes a lot of things happen. And again, I'm sure he's pretty excited about coming into the rink here. He'll have a lot of family and friends, but at the end of the day, we're probably going to have to concentrate on what we have to do.
And, last year it seemed like the first couple months put you guys in a hole that was tough to climb out of. You guys talked about the importance of starting quick.
Very much so. It's a journey. It's a long season, but at the end of the day, you have to start on time, and you have to try to be sharp and consistent in your play from the start because, we're getting into the non-conference schedule right now before we get into the conference schedule later on, and these are just as important games to build pairwise points and build your body work to get in the national tournament. And that's where we lost traction early in the season. We don't want to do that this year. We want to make sure that we focus on the job at hand and take care of business from weekend to weekend, and it starts in practice. And I firmly believe we've had some really good practices after playing Manitoba here, and keeping our foot on the gas, and that's what we're going to have to do. So yeah, it's about starting on time and making sure that we bring it every night with consistency.
You guys held out Emerson last week, and is he available to play?
Yeah, he'll be available this weekend to play, and obviously we have another practice tomorrow before we get into the weekend here. But he's healthy, ready to go. Everybody's healthy in our group.
Goaltending, how do you, after obviously they didn't get a lot of shots, do you play one or ride one or give both a chance this weekend?
Yeah, well, again, I think the most important game this weekend, and they're both very important, but the most important for us right now is Friday against Army, and we're going to play Ludwig Pearson, and he'll start, and then we'll make an evaluation after Friday night. Different things go into it, but at the end of the day, he's earned the right to start, and we're going to go from there and focus on Army Friday night.
Besides wins this weekend, what's maybe the biggest thing that you're looking to see out of your group?
Just playing fast, playing north, and also our defensive structure all over the ice. When you think about defensive structure, everybody goes D-zone coverage, and that's true. At the end of the day, you have to be solid in your end of the rink, but we don't want to play a lot in our end of the rink. It's a situation we want to play good defensively. In the offensive zone, having good gaps, having players track, forwards track back, and D-men holding lines, and making sure that we're good in their end of the rink and in the neutral zone. And then finally, if we have to play in the D zone, we're solid and tight and we're playing fast, that's going to be a thing that's going to differentiate us from last year. And we got to make sure that we know that and play that to our identity.
What impresses you the most about your young playmakers this year?
Their exuberance, their excitement. I know I feel a lot younger watching those guys zip up and down the ice a little bit, but they're playing committed. And sometimes when you get into practice, start of the year you want to get to the games, but these guys know that before you do that you have to do the work in practice. These guys are all about it, and just kind of the exuberance, the excitement that they're bringing in practice, which will carry over to the weekend.
I know you kind of touched on it Saturday night, but just the fact of so many offensive weapons for you guys and hard to kind of solidify four lines. Is that getting easier, or do you kind of like that challenge of having any guy able to step up?
Well, you know what? It's not getting any easier, and that's good because at the end of the day, they're playing well and forcing coaches to make decisions on what you have to do. But I think that's a great thing. Having depth like that to do that, having competition in those not only forwards but defensemen and goaltenders as well. You know, having a system where there's competition to play each and every night, and that's a good thing. And again, like we all know how the game of hockey goes, knock on wood, but there's things that happen that provide opportunity for players, and then those players that aren't playing have to be ready for that time to get in. So that's the beauty of North Dakota is there's a team first mentality, and we know that the guy that's in the lineup's got to bring it, and the guy that's out of the lineup's got to be ready for his opportunity.
Just as a coaching staff, how do you kind of transition Friday to Saturday in the sense of like new opponent, not the same one back to back? Probably not much sleep for you guys.
Yeah, that's a great question, and we've had familiarity when you go into frozen or Final Four weekends or frozen face-off weekends where you probably have two different opponents on a weekend, national tournament as well. That the most important game is Friday night. So Army's Friday night. So we have a pre-scout. We have how we want to play or whatever. Coaches, their job through the week is to prepare for Saturday when Saturday comes so that you turn the page. So instead of convolute the message to our players and give them a little bit of both teams, concentrating on Army first, and then Saturday morning we dial into Wisconsin. And that's a short turnaround, but our guys can handle that. So again, like it's short-term focus is your one opponent, and then you concentrate on your next opponent the next night.